I've got to give it some oomph. Let's be creative, okay? A noise for validation. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there you go. That's how we do it. Well, look, I want you to give a massive, massive round of applause. Come up with your own noise. Gives you ums, gives you clicks. You've got to go absolutely crazy for our first guest poet. I can't wait to see him do this. He came here to do a spoken word show of his own, and I was at the back watching him do his rehearsal, and I thought, you. So here he is at Grooveverse. Grooveverse, I need to make him feel super, super welcome. Band, I need to go absolutely mental. And Grooveverse, give a big round of applause and a welcome to Poetry by Tony!
Cool. So basically, the first one is a love story, but two young people. So you can imagine them somewhere in East Africa. So a little safari vibe, if you want. It's short, so you guys are gonna have to rock with me. You get me? Yeah. What comes to mind? Don't worry, you got this, man. I like that. There was this girl called Shame, breathtakingly beautiful, who I met during my young days. I used to like her a lot, and as children we dreamt about life and love, which is crazy. In the midst of a civil war, we were children that still dreamed, looked to the future and had hopes of building a home and starting a family. But there was a problem. Shame's mother never liked me. So anytime she saw me, she would curse me. And one time she went as far as gripping me by the throat and shaking me around, because I was 100% Southerner and Shame was from both the North and the South. You see, Shame's father was an Arab who came to work in the South, and that's where he met her mother. This became a cycle. Another child with another man. 4 different partners, 4 different children. Of course, none had the same dad. A predicament in which many mothers in the South found themselves in. But as a young warrior, I never feared about such things, because all I ever cared about was Shame. See, to me, she was perfect in every way. And even though her skin tone was a little lighter than mine, she thought like a Southerner. Her dislike for the Northerners intensified after she was abandoned by her father. So there were times when I had to protect her from men who wanted to abuse her, so I became her knight in shining armor. But when I returned home, I too faced abuse. Because what they didn't realize is she's also a victim of the circumstance her in. Like, she didn't ask for this. To be victimized by her own people in her own land, all because she doesn't even know her own dad. Sad to think. Someone like Shame, who was innocent, but treated like a criminal for a crime she didn't commit. And that's why for me, Shame is everything. And that's why I would sacrifice so much, just to show the extent of my love. Because no matter what happens amongst us, I would do everything I can to save that woman I love. So now this one is a bit of a, it's on the other side. So this one's a bit of, I'll call it dark jazz. I saw something called Noir Ambient, something like that. So it's like a cinematic feel. So this poem is about sort of war. So basically, I come from South Sudan, and currently there's a war going on, or civil war going on in the northern part of Sudan. And I was asked a few days ago, do I still care? And I had to go back to my early days of writing poetry, and I found this in the archive. So I'm about to go to war. That's hence the military uniform. So guys, it's a bit of dark jazz, you know. I feel like every time I perform, no one really listens. You just wait for punchlines so you can click your fingers, not realizing that that doesn't even make a difference. I feel like I should just pack my bags and leave, because I'm failing to see the logic in trying to fight for peace, hoping that you guys fight for me while I be the voice of those who cannot speak, so you can see how much those people mean to me. Because I don't know if I can live another day knowing that 4 million are on the verge of going hungry. Can you imagine? The start of the year, famine being declared in my country, but I've got to stand here. Watch the whole world pray for Syria. Like to say my people don't need prayers too. I guess they were right in Hoto, Rwanda, when they basically said, you will only feel our pain for about a day because our struggle doesn't even affect you. That's why more time I just want to zone out, waiting for the world to end, knowing that Satan has prepared a seat for me in hell because I haven't done enough to help my people. But you want to know why I fight for them? Because I believe that most of them didn't deserve to die. So last night, when I've seen the video of the escapees say they killed any male over the age of 15, I couldn't believe my eyes. But I'm getting sick and tired of trying to define the word genocide, because it doesn't matter how many titles you give it, it won't change a thing. You see, humanity means to care for each other. Civilization means to work together to create a better life. But we have failed humanity the day we stopped behaving civilized. So I went on a search, and as I found my history book, I found one man with 9 wives and 21 kids. See, I'm the last generation mullah, not by name but by blood, but it's not by luck but by fate that they still exist. You see, the families in the South region were scattered, all the children were running because soldiers from the north were coming. Now some say they wanted to erase the whole Negro race, so to most, Bashir was a very bad man, but we didn't have no Sudanese and Frank. So who's going to save the day? I mean, we are dying. We are dying, but we're the ones killing our own. I said we are dying. We are dying, but we're the ones killing our own. But even though many are dying, I'm not sure I will call this war. You see, due to very few fighting, this is more like genocide at its finest. We used to hold spears in our hand in an attempt to protect our land, but now they chase us with guns. Knowing fully well we've got nowhere to run, but that doesn't bother them, because they know that if they can't kill us, then starvation will. There's nothing left to eat. And Foreign Aid has become a song that everyone's singing, but how many artists are making a difference? What if I was your family member or your friend? Would you care then? So how can you remain silent about these kind of events? You see, luckily enough, just before the hope of my people was gone, there he was, the man who had nothing more than hope and a gun and a plan to drive out the enemy as far as he can, because as far as we're concerned, they've already stolen enough of our land. Now, enough is enough. We cannot continue to live like this. I mean, what are we? A bunch of animals in a cage. But when the truth is exposed, the whole world will feel ashamed, but for only as long as you're watching, because you have enough distractions to allow you to continue your day. So what should we do? Suffer in silence, or convince you to take action in this humanitarian crisis? The saddest part is, my country is not the only place where this happens. In most cases, the victims look just like us, but so do the suspects, because most of them think that they're bigger than us, except for one. He thinks this is will from God, but for far too long, he's been deceiving us. So I would appreciate it if he handed himself in, because I cannot continue to live like this. I'm sick and tired of having nowhere to run. Everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by war, and I don't have the guts to pick up a gun and kill him for everything he's caused. Because I don't want to start hating every one of his kind. Because I fear that if I was to put a gun to his head, then the bullet might exit through mine. Then before you know it, a whole people are gone. Because the victims hated so much that they left no room for love. Now I know I speak on behalf of the minority, and I could even get killed for this. But you see, to every man who ever oppressed us, I forgive you for all you've done. Thank you guys. Poetry by Tony. Don't be alarmed, it's not a real gun. Enjoy.
Give it up for Poetry by Tony! Beautiful stuff! Poetry by Tony, everybody! First time we've had a firearm, fake or otherwise, out of the group first stage. So there's a first for everything. We love that. I must admit, when you first got